Hello, I'm Charles Tabb, and I'm here for day 80 of the Richmond Public Library's RVA Reads 100 Days program. I've chosen to be at a library today. I'm at Ashland Library in Ashland, Virginia, because, well, that's where the books are. And I sort of feel like we need to enter libraries the way a starving man might enter a banquet hall where a feast has been set up just for him, because it's all here and it's all free. I'm going to read to you today from The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I chose this book because when I was 14 years old, or around that age, I believe I was 14, it was the first book I ever picked up to read and didn't put down until I was finished reading it. Read it all in one day. And it, I guess like most teenage boys, it really spoke to me in a lot of ways. But also it let me know that maybe one day I could write a book, which I did. I'm an author myself. And maybe come up with a book that said more than just the words on the page, which this one does. I've chosen the excerpt near the end where Holden Caulfield has managed to sneak into his family's apartment and awaken his little sister. And it's the part that contains the title of the book. And I'm always intrigued by titles of books, especially when I think that the title is a poem unto itself, like To Kill a Mockingbird, or I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, or The Catcher in the Rye. It's just, it's one of those that you get to in the book, you go, oh, I get it. So he's speaking to Phoebe, and Phoebe has asked him, Phoebe's his sister, and she has asked him to tell her something that he really likes, and he's having a hard time coming up with it. What? I said to old Phoebe. She said something to me, but I didn't hear her. You can't even think of one thing. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Well, do it then. I like Allie, I said. And I like doing what I'm doing right now, sitting here with you and talking and thinking about stuff. And Allie's dead. You always say that. If somebody's dead or everything and in heaven, then it isn't really, I know he's dead. Don't you think I know that? I can still like him though, can't I? Just because somebody's dead, you don't just stop liking them, for God's sake, especially if they were about 1,000 times nicer than the people you know that are alive and all. Old Phoebe didn't say anything. When she can't think of anything to say, she doesn't say a goddamn word. Anyway, I like it now, I said. I mean, right now, sitting here with you and just chewing the fat and horsing, that isn't anything really. It is so something really. Certainly it is. Why the hell isn't it? People never think anything is anything really. I'm getting goddamn sick of it. Stop swearing. All right, name something else. Name something you'd like to be, like a scientist or a lawyer or something. I couldn't be a scientist. I'm no good in science. Well, a lawyer, like Daddy and all. Lawyers are all right, I guess. But it doesn't appeal to me, I said. I mean, they're all right if they go around saving innocent guys' lives all the time and like that, but you don't do that kind of stuff if you're a lawyer. All you do is make a lot of dough and play golf and play bridge and buy cars and drink martinis and look like a hotshot. And besides, even if you did go around saving guys' lives and all, how would you know if you did it because you really wanted to save guys' lives? Or because you did it because what you really wanted to do was to be a terrific lawyer with everybody slapping you on the back and congratulating you in court when the goddamn trial was over. The reporters and everybody, the way it is in the dirty movies. How would you know you weren't being a phony? The trouble is, you wouldn't. I'm not too sure old Phoebe knew what the hell I was talking about. I mean, she's only a little child and all, but she was listening at least. If somebody at least listens, it's not too bad. Daddy's going to kill you. He's going to kill you, she said. I wasn't listening, though. I was thinking about something else, something crazy. You know what I'd like to be? I said. You know what I'd like to be? I mean, if I had it my goddamn choice. What? Stop swearing. You know that song, If a Body Catch a Body Coming Through the Rye? I'd like, it's If a Body Meet a Body Coming Through the Rye, old Phoebe said. It's a poem by Robert Burns. I know it's a poem by Robert Burns. She was right, though. It is If a Body Meet a Body Coming Through the Rye. I didn't know it then, though. I thought it was If a Body Catch a Body, I said. Anyway, I keep picturing all these little kids playing some game in this big field of rye and all. Thousands of little kids, and nobody's around. Nobody big, I mean, except me. And I'm standing on the edge of some crazy cliff. What I have to do, I have to catch everybody if they start to go over the cliff. I mean, if they're running and they don't look where they're going, I have to come out from somewhere and catch them. That's all I do all day. I just be the catcher in the rye and all. I know it's crazy, but that's the only thing I really like to be. I know it's crazy. Old Phoebe didn't say anything for a long time. Then when she said something, all she said was, "Daddy's going to kill you." "I don't give a damn if he does," I said. I got up from the bed then because what I wanted to do, I wanted to phone up this guy that was my English teacher at Elkton Hills, Mr. Antolini. He lived in New York now. He quit Elkton Hills. He took this job teaching English at NYU. "I have to make a phone call," I told Phoebe. "I'll be right back." "Don't go to sleep." I didn't want her to go to sleep while I was in the living room. I knew she wouldn't, but I said it anyway, just to make sure. While I was walking toward the door, old Phoebe said, "Holden," and I turned around. She was sitting way up in bed. She looked so pretty. "I'm taking belching lessons from this girl, Philip Margulies," she said. "Listen." I listened and I heard something, but it wasn't much. "Good," I said. Then I went out in the living room and called up this teacher I had, Mr. Antolini. Thank you. I hope you are a reader and that you read plenty of books. This is day 80 of this program, and if you enjoy it, please continue watching the others, and hopefully we'll do this same thing next year. Thank you. This book definitely had a lot to do with my being an author myself. I've written and had published several short stories in literary journals that are online journals, and I have a novel that I've written that's available here at Ashland Public Library called Floating Twigs. It is a wonderful time in my life. I'm able to sit at my computer and write and listen to my phone ding at me. But they do have a Facebook group as well for this. So, if you'd like to join in on the Facebook group, there will be eventually 100 of these. I'm number 80. And they're all great books, and every book that we read from on this is available at the Richmond Public Library. So be sure to visit your library soon and walk in like a starving man looking for a feast, and behold all of the food that's there for you. Libraries are suffering a lot these days from budget concerns because it tends to be an afterthought, I think, among those who decide where money goes. And it should be one of the first things because it's the bastion of free thought and the repository for free speech. I'm Charles Tabb. Thank you very much.